I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what worship in heaven really sounds like? I've often pondered this myself, and it's got me thinking, so let's talk about it. There are probably billions of people who have died throughout history and gone to heaven. And they're all up there right now singing and worshiping God, but in different languages. There are people who speak English, Chinese, Spanish, German, and many more languages. Yet somehow, in spite of this, there is a beautiful harmony that transcends all language barriers. As a musician and songwriter who has written several worship songs recorded by some amazing artists, I've always found this topic fascinating. How does God orchestrate this heavenly symphony of praise? And how can a being with no vocal cords even sing? Do angels have voices? Do they have ears? Is there such a thing as angelic choirs? Are the inhabitants of heaven singing and playing instruments? Or is it something else entirely? We know that the Bible talks about heavenly harps, but what else might be happening? It's hard to fathom the idea of endless choirs of angels all perfectly harmonizing together without any dissonance or flat notes. What would it sound like if they were to stop singing for a moment? Would there be an eerie silence, or would the sound continue? If they did stop singing, it would likely be deafeningly silent because we don't have the capacity to comprehend the volume of sound created by billions upon billions of voices praising God. We can't imagine how loud it would be. If you've ever been to a big concert where tens of thousands of people are singing at the top of their lungs, you may have experienced a bit of that heavenly sound. But even that doesn't come close to the real thing. It's hard to comprehend the difference between the sound of people singing here on earth and the sound of angels singing in heaven. But while these questions may not have definitive answers, we do have some clues from biblical accounts. The book of Revelation offers us a glimpse into what worship in heaven might sound like. John describes a multitude in heaven, a great multitude which no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, all gathered before the throne. The vision John had of worship in heaven included four key elements. The first is that the number of worshipers is vast beyond comprehension, similar to the idea of a crowd at a large concert. This multitude comes from all nations and ethnicities. In heaven, there is no distinction between people based on where they're from or the language they speak. Everyone is united in their worship of God. Secondly, John mentions a new song being sung, one that only the 144,000 could learn. This suggests that the music in heaven is not just familiar hymns or traditional songs, but something altogether new and unique. The new song symbolizes the fresh, transformative experience of being in the presence of God. Thirdly, the heavenly worshipers are playing harps and golden bowls and sounding harps and cymbals and trumpets. This signifies that the music in heaven is not just a cappella, but also includes a variety of instruments. The imagery of bowls and harps being sounded evokes a rich, layered sound, perhaps similar to a symphony orchestra. Finally, the worship in heaven is led by 4 living creatures and 24 elders. These figures represent the divine authority and majesty of God, and their participation in the worship further emphasizes the transcendent experience of being in His presence. So, what does worship in heaven really sound like? It's a melody of unity, diversity, otherworldliness, and reverence. It's a grand symphony led by heavenly beings, played on instruments crafted from gold, and sung in a language that transcends earthly tongues. It's a celebration of God's majesty and a testament to the boundless love of His people. Now, let's explore the symbolism behind these sounds and what they might represent in the context of worship. The harp is a recurring symbol of heavenly worship in Scripture. When King David, who is considered the sweet singer of Israel, was old and unable to play the harp, he entrusted his armor-bearer with his weaponized harp. He said to him, "Arm yourself with the armor of the Lord and put on your breastplate," and his armor-bearer did so. Then David went out and fought against the Philistines. He struck down Goliath and took his armor off him, and David was not afraid. This shows that the harp wasn't just a musical instrument for David, but also a symbol of his faith and courage. For him, it represented his connection to God and his ability to face the giants in his life. The bull being sounded is another powerful image used in Scripture. When Jesus was about to be crucified, he took a cup and said, "Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done." This is significant because it links the idea of a cup, often associated with suffering and sacrifice, with the concept of God's will. It shows that even in the darkest moments, God's plan is greater than our own desires. Trumpets in heaven symbolize a call to action. The book of Revelation describes an angel with a golden trumpet whose booming voice echoes across the earth. When he sounds his trumpet, the 4 living creatures and 24 elders fall down before the Lamb, signifying worship and reverence. Trumpets are also used in times of war and victory, as well as to announce important events. They symbolize a call to attention and a summons to action. In contrast to these louder instruments, cymbals are used for softer, more subtle sounds. The crashing of cymbals can add a dramatic flair to a piece of music, but they can also be played softly to create a gentle, atmospheric sound. They symbolize the mystery and wonder of heaven, adding a sense of awe and reverence to the overall sound. Now, let's take a look at the role of these instruments and voices in creating a heavenly melody. The use of multiple instruments and voices creates a rich, layered sound that adds depth and complexity to the music. It's not just the individual notes, but the way they interact with each other that creates something truly harmonious. This layering is similar to the way a choir works, where the different voices blend together to create a fuller, richer sound. Each voice has its own part to play, but it is in the combination with the other voices that the true beauty of the choir is revealed. The inclusion of various instruments and voices in the heavenly melody symbolizes the diversity of God's creation and the multitude of ways He is praised. It reflects the richness and complexity of His character and the depth of human emotion and experience. Just as a composer uses different instruments and voices to express a wide range of emotions and ideas in a piece of music, so too does the heavenly melody encompass the full spectrum of human emotion and experience in its praise of God. Another important aspect of the heavenly melody is the concept of improvisation. This means that the music is not just pre-planned and rehearsed, but also spontaneous and unrehearsed. It allows for creativity and personal expression within the framework of the overall composition. This is similar to the way a jazz musician might improvise a solo, where they follow the basic structure of the melody, but add their own personal touch to it. In the same way, the heavenly melody is both structured and spontaneous, allowing for a wide range of expression and creativity within the framework of God's will. This leads us to the heart of the matter, the lyrics or words of the heavenly melody. What are these heavenly worshipers singing about? What are they saying in their songs? The lyrics of the heavenly melody are a declaration of faith, hope, and love. They express the deepest desires of the human heart and the longing for a deeper connection with God. These songs are not just about praising God, but also about sharing personal experiences and testimonies. They are a reminder of God's faithfulness and His ability to bring hope in times of darkness. In conclusion, the heavenly melody is a rich tapestry of sound and meaning, woven together by the hands of a master composer. It is a symphony of voices and instruments that create a depth and complexity that is both awe-inspiring and humbling. It is a testament to the power of music to express the inexpressible and to the glory of God to inspire such beauty in His creation. So, when we think about what worship in heaven might sound like, let us be inspired by the heavenly melody. Let us strive to create music that is not only beautiful and harmonious, but also meaningful and life-giving. For music has the power to touch the hearts of those around us and to bring them closer to God. Thank you for joining me on this journey of musical exploration. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos on music and faith. I look forward to seeing you next time.